As a kid, I was like, why am I watching this? Yeah.
She wore gentleman's underwear during the filming.
And he just pulls that gun over the top of the car.
And that's it.
Fucking
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Never miss a game.
Yeah. That's brilliant.
Right, welcome to the CineShow Podcast and one of our special retro reviews, and this time it is...
Robocop. Go Robo. There's a line in the Go Robo, which I always found really cheesy, but I actually love.
Is it a line?
Is it a line?
Go Robo.
Is it the
It's
kids
Go Robo.
saying it?
It's as you first stand up and start walking
yeah.
through, and somebody shouts Go Robo.
Yeah, that is really... It is a bit satire when it with some of those scenes, isn't it?
Very satire.
Right, I'm Jamie, this is Matt, and then today we've got with us...
Cooky.
Cooky.
From
Back
Cooky
again.
Cook.
You may remember Cooky was on our Aliens retro review. Last time he brought us pizza.
I've just got myself today.
This time you bring us nothing.
Yeah. I did warn you.
I was so damn hungry.
Yeah.
Cooky, what do you do? Cook.
Yeah, I run Cooky Cooks, as probably most you know.
Yep.
Yeah, doing events and pop-ups. A lot of Grimsby Town Football Club.
Yes, that's where I got this on.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even notice.
Tie in with you.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah, saved it for you.
Yeah, you're a
Thanks,
mobile chef. A mobile chef.
Yeah, run a mobile
cookster.
kitchen. Yeah. So we do a lot of stuff.
And voted Smileyest Man in Cleethorpes for the 9th year running this year.
I'm going for the 10th. I can't wait for next year.
Brilliant. So let's get into Robocop.
Yeah.
Robocop, 1987, but actually 1988 in the UK.
Released some months later, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Directed by Paul Verhoeven, starring Peter Weller as Murphy, Nancy Allen as Lewis, Kurtwood Smith, love him, as Clarence J. Bodicker, Miguel Ferrer, love him, Bob Morton, and Ronnie Cox as Dick Jones, great name.
Dick Jones.
Let's take a look at a clip.
Half man,
This guy is really good.
half machine,
Robocop. What is he?
He's a cyborg, you idiot.
all hero.
What are your prime directives? Protect the innocent.
Let the woman go, or there will be trouble.
Uphold the law.
You are under arrest.
What is this shit?
Justice gets an upgrade.
Looking for me? Your move, creep.
Robocop.
Thank you for your cooperation. Good night.
Okay. And that was Robocop.
Well, where do we begin?
You've got all the details.
Well, I'll tell you what,
So I'm
let's
just
start
feeding off with you.
with Paul Verhoeven, the director.
Director.
Now, this is the second of films directed by the Dutch director that we have discussed, because we also
Yes.
did a retro review of Total Recall.
Yes.
Did he do that?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
So he started with films back in his homeland, foreign
Yeah,
language
he
films.
did, yeah.
And then his first American film was Robocop.
Yep.
Followed by Total Recall. Oh, sorry, his first American film was a film called Flesh and Blood, which is like a sword and sandals,
Sword and sandals.
bit Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, right.
That kind of film didn't do very well at all. Starred Jennifer Jason Leigh and I think Rutger Hauer.
Right.
I have seen it.
Yeah, because I think he was. I
quite
think.
poor.
I think he was gonna. Wasn't he part of maybe to be Murphy, that Rutger guy? I think there was a little bit.
Yes,
He might have been
I
gone through a
think there
casting
was.
thing.
I think
with
there
it.
was.
Yeah.
So he did Flesh and Blood, then he did Robocop, then Total Recall, then went on Basic Instinct.
There's change there.
So he's riding high at this point. He then did Showgirls, which tanked,
Yeah.
and Starship Troopers.
Weirdly, Showgirls has got a massive cult following
Yes,
now because of how bad it was.
as has Starship Troopers. But
Yeah.
Starship Troopers, I would argue, is very, very good for
I
him.
quite enjoyed
it's a-
Starship
it's
a good film.
Troopers.
But what? You're saying that flopped in the
It
cinema?
didn't do very well,
Oh, I thought it did.
but it has a
Oh
cult
no,
following.
it was good in VHS sales, DVD sales.
Yes,
Starship
it's one of
Troopers.
those that will have
Yeah.
caught on.
Yeah.
And then he, 1997, sorry, that was 1997, Starship Troopers, and then Hollow Man in 2000.
Yes.
Oh God, was that Kevin Bacon?
Kevin Bacon,
Yeah.
Invisible Man
I
flick.
love that film.
Yeah.
I actually love that
It's
film.
all right.
Yeah.
Easy watch.
He goes
Yeah.
really dark and sinister
Yeah,
in that, doesn't
it was a
he,
good
Kevin
turn for
Bacon?
Kevin Bacon, yeah, to sort of show his chops.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I was just going to say about the Paul Verhoeven, because when I was watching it, and obviously Total Recall's a big film from that era as well.
Yes.
He must have loved TV screens, especially Dick Jones, because even Robocop, whenever there's anything techie going on, there's like
I'd buy that for
800
$1.
CRT.
Yeah.
There's always like 100 CRT screens
Yeah.
dotted about.
He has a definite style, doesn't he?
Yeah.
A
Yeah, the
definite way
picture
of,
in
of
picture.
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
quite
It's
a
very Total
visionary
Recall
guy.
when it came up to all the
What's
techie
quite
stuff.
surprising for me as a foreign director, non-American director, is how much he likes political satire. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so that's rare for like a non-American, non-UK director to sort of like non-English, should we say, as first language director to get into and do it so well. Like
Well,
the satire, the comedy satire.
Apparently
is
that was
one of
partly
the best.
why he was chosen, because he
Oh,
was
really?
European, and they wanted a European's take on America rather than an American's take on America.
Yes,
That
that's
makes
right,
sense.
Which
actually,
is why
isn't it?
you
Yeah.
get the satirical
That's-
stuff and
yeah.
the
I know it's a little
basically
bit-
taking the mick.
Yeah,
out of
because he's
America
like
in
Americans
general.
couldn't be able to take the mick of themselves, so
Yeah.
they wanted like an outsider
Yes.
looking in.
Yeah, and it
to
is.
it all.
It's satire, but on steroids. It's like abstract
Yeah.
satire. But it shouldn't. It's that out there, some of the satire, that it shouldn't really do as well as it
Yeah.
did, because it's like it needs an audience. Like you're just saying about Americans, that he's been brought in for an outside take. That also is a risk for those watching it. If they're relying on an
Yeah, yeah.
American audience and they don't like it, or they don't get it, or they don't want to look at themselves that way,
It really could
can
break
angle
Well,
it.
you
the
have
film,
the
yeah.
you have the adverts throughout, which is a
Yeah.
strange thing to
Well,
do.
it
but
literally
works
starts
really
off.
well.
It starts off with a news
Yeah.
broadcast, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Which then has adverts in it.
So we have adverts for these the flogging hearts, aren't they, made by Yamaha and stuff?
Yeah, yeah.
Heart donuts.
And right at the end, the doctor just looks and goes, "Because we care."
Yeah, yeah. You've got
Really
the one I
cheesy.
always remember, which is the Newcomb game, which is a bit like
Oh yeah,
Battleships.
you sung my
Um,
battleship. Yeah.
And then there's the sketch, the I'd buy that for $1 thing, which
Yeah.
apparently they're based on kind of Benny Hill.
Well, I was about to say,
Oh,
I
really?
even wrote that down. It's very Kenny Everett, Benny Hill
Yeah.
sort
Yeah.
of stuff. The punchline itself doesn't really make any sense, but everyone's literally slapping the knees whenever he says
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
But the fact that those are in it is strange in itself. So I don't know how often they're in it, to be honest. It's probably, 3 or 4 times throughout
Yeah,
the
good
film?
4 times,
You get
I
the
think.
news bulletin, you get an
Yeah.
advert, and but Starship Troopers does the same as well. That flashes up with adverts for joining up
Yeah.
and kind of pathé news of what's happening in the war and stuff.
Was there any other films around about that time that was doing it? Because now I know that Paul Verhoeven's done
No,
Total
which
Recall.
is
'cause
why
Total Recall
kind of
as
when
well.
people look back at it, it's seen as such a game changer for
Yeah.
action science fiction stuff. Shall I read the plot synopsis? We haven't done that.
You
have
can
we?
read off the
Yeah,
back
do
of
it,
the-
I'll read it off the back of the actual DVD.
We love this.
When a good cop, Peter Weller, gets blown away by some ruthless criminals, and he doesn't half get blown away, innovative scientists and doctors are able to piece him back together as an unstoppable crime-fighting cyborg called Robocop, impervious to bullets and bombs and equipped with high-tech weapons. Robocop quickly makes a name for himself, cleaning up the crime-ridden streets of violence-ravaged Detroit. But despite his new, hardened exterior, Robocop is tormented by scraps of memory of his former life and relives vivid nightmares of his own death at the hands of the vicious killers. Now he is out to seek justice. More than justice, sorry. He wants revenge.
I think he did quite a good job of that.
So
things.
go on.
2 things.
Yes.
You're reading that. I've never realised how close that is to Frankenstein until you just read it out
Yeah.
there, putting him back
Yeah.
together and stuff like that. Secondly, how foreshadowing is this now when they're talking about? It's just occurred to me. You know, there's a bit in it about the whether it's thinking enough to. He's legally dead.
Yeah.
He's signed something to the police to say that, you know, or maybe he wasn't. I can't remember the things about
Yeah,
that.
but he
but
it's like a
using his
contract.
body and his family are still alive, using his body and his pieces to make this thing after he's clinically dead. They're saying, well, he died, so anything thereafter is not a problem. And now you're looking at, like, I've seen something with Robin Williams' daughter kicking off about, like, people trying to use Robin Williams in AI in films and stuff like that. Now it's a completely different thing, but not so much.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
no,
But
because you know, he's still a person indicated in terms of
but
personality.
the dilemma
and
of it,
everything, yeah.
like, how crazy is that? What's that, 20 years ago? What's the year on this?
88.
It's
88, nearly 30 years
nearly
40 years
ago,
yeah.
isn't it? Yeah.
And that, asking questions like that then, and now we're actually genuinely sort of moving into
Well,
that.
also, I mean, the whole storyline of the big companies wanting to take over running law enforcement and all that kind of stuff isn't that far away really from what's kind of happening in America now and stuff.
No.
So the general kind of working through the plot, as we sometimes find helps in these podcasts that we make. We start off with Murphy being assigned to the Detroit Police Department. It's not actually filmed in Detroit, they filmed it in Dallas.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, because Dallas was an easier with getting the permissions and things to do it, and they just thought that it looked a bit better.
It's a bit different to the Dallas I remember on the TV shows.
So Murphy, played by Peter Weller, who, as you said, wasn't necessarily the first choice.
No.
From my reading, there was Michael Ironside.
Yep.
There was Arnie wanted to do it, but when they tried doing this whole suit thing, it was just too massive.
It was already too big.
Was it Michael Ironside in it?
No.
No. He's the guy.
In Total Recall.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
He basically plays a Clarence Boddicker, doesn't he, in Total Recall?
No. And then
Who goes round to the house with a thing? And he puts
what's his name? Kurtwood Smith.
Yeah.
Boddicker.
Oh, right,
Florence
yeah.
Boddicker.
Yeah.
And then Peter Fonda also wanted to play it. Peter Fonda of Easy Rider.
Oh, wow.
Older guy.
Yep.
And then they basically needed someone who was really thin so that they could get the suit on and stuff, but was also quite strong, who had a lovely mouth.
They kept looking at the jawline. That's what
The
they
jawline
could. Yeah,
of the
because
mouth.
and I think some of the guys who was maybe wanting to do it.
That was something with the Batman thing of why Keaton got, because the people didn't want Michael Keaton because he was a comedy guy, so they couldn't really take Michael Keaton serious for Batman. And then when they put him in the suit and did a little test, apparently they give that to
he's
the
brilliant Batman.
Yeah,
Absolutely
my
brilliant
favourite.
Batman.
So we start out then, we're in Detroit. Crime is out of control.
It's
out of control.
It's almost it's like apocalyptic.
It is.
Yeah, it feels very.
Yeah.
Everything's run down, dusty, dirty, grimy,
Yeah.
rusty. Everything's a bit.
And OCP headed
Detroit.
by the old man, and then under the old man is Dick Jones.
Dick Jones.
Are wanting to take over kind of law enforcement and kind of run it a different way and stuff. So Murphy and Lewis are teamed up together as cops. Lewis is a bit of a badass. Interesting fact with her as well, the actress Nancy Allen, she wore gentleman's underwear during the filming to make her feel a little bit more masculine. So rather than being a pushover, she's actually quite hard as nails.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a bit at the beginning, isn't there, in the station where she gives somebody a proper twatting, I'm going to say.
yeah, she does.
She's
Yeah,
on the
she
turn.
really does. And it had the classic sound effects with the punches as well. They all sound the same. It's great. Love
So
it.
Dick Jones, one of the greatest character names in all of history. Great idea is to bring in something like Ed 209 to police the streets. So we have that. So we initially have Murphy and Lewis getting together, and then we go to the OCP headquarters.
Yep.
And we've got that great scene where Dick Jones introduces Ed 209 to do a demo.
Malfunctions.
Yeah, and
I-
which is the first real ultra violence you see as well.
It is, because the guy, you have 15 seconds to comply, and then if he puts the gun down and then he doesn't stop going, you've got to comply. But I always, when I was watching it recently, yesterday, I've forgotten how sort of drastic that seems.
Yeah.
You know, they've gone from, I know there's a lot of things going on, but
Yeah,
Ed 209 is an absolute unit it just looks crazy.
Yeah.
Like that,
I love...
Go from like no robots whatsoever to that patrolling the street.
Yeah, and I love stop motion.
Oh, yeah,
that's one of the things.
great.
There's something about stop motion that the actual, what people would see as a flaw, I see as a bonus, because it gives this jittery movement. But I think that's what you're looking for in something you don't know what it was going to move like.
Yeah.
So this jittery movement in stop motion I've always preferred it over most CGI, because CGI most of the time, and more so now because it's getting so lazy with it, it just looks like something composited over the top of it.
Yeah.
Whereas,
it doesn't look like it's actually there. Yeah.
So the jitteriness of it, I actually really like.
Yeah. It is a great scene. I remember the first time watching it, I think we watched it on VHS at a mate's house. I would have only been 16 or so, something like that. That when he gets all the squibs, whether there's an award for the most amount of squibs that one person's added, and when like I said, when it malfunctioned, and it really does ratchet the tension because you think, Christ, it's gonna, there's nowhere for him to go. You know what I mean? It's still
everyone's pushing him away out.
So one of the things on that is, when I was, that's one of the films, if not the first film I can remember as a kid, actually sitting there thinking I should not be watching this.
Yeah.
You know, I know I was a kid anyway, and it's an 18, but I was genuinely like, because of the violence and the physical effects, I was like, this is gross. I shouldn't be watching. It's wrong for me to be watching this film.
You've been watching it again for the 10th time.
And previous to that, lots of films had gore and violence and stuff like that. But in America, there was quite strict on where the line was for R-rated and films that they put a lot. If you put a lot of money into a film in the 80s in a big budget, they wanted as many people to see it, so they really did skate that R-rated line. So to step over it so heavily in a massive budget film like that was one of the first times I'd seen that level of gore and violence in a mainstream blockbuster outside of horror. It was either horror or like, where you was going to expect violence, but the budget would have been way less than what was on this. So that was a bold move, but that was Verhoeven in a nutshell. Same when he did Total Recall, pretty much the same with some of the gory scenes in there. They kind of realised that going over that line and taking that gamble to R-rated obviously limits the amount of people that can go and see it. They took that gamble and it worked. And I think that was one of the films that pushed violence in mainstream films. That was like a watershed point for it.
Yeah. It's good that though, isn't it? Because you need people like that to start pushing things a little bit. I know it sometimes can go too far.
Yeah, and I'm sure films previous to it had gone and done it, and it failed. Like took a gamble on the budget. I can't think off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure if we had a look into it, there'll be films that had that level of violence. It went to an R-rated, and because it went to an R-rated, it didn't make its money back, so it didn't get a sequel or.
I think they basically just went for it. I mean, they knew that the premise was silly. The whole title of the thing being called Robocop and all the rest of it, and they just thought let him let loose. And
people, because obviously they write the script and they send them off to wherever, but everyone would just turn it down because the word Robocop, it sounded almost daft and childish, really.
So Slimy Bob. One of the executives
Bob Morton
sees his opportunity. Edo 209's malfunctioned, and he goes to the old man and says about the Robocop program, and all he's looking for is a suitable donor, and he can get that going. The old man kind of gives him
opening and you go for it. That's what he says to him.
Gives him the go ahead to try the Robocop.
I'm going to sound really dumb here because I said to you guys I purposely don't watch them leading up to it because I want to sort of rely on my own memory because I do know the film really well. Is it a setup, or is it just like convenient that he was the next copper, or do we find out that it was a setup?
It's never revealed if it is. I think they're trying to rush it through. I think, aren't they?
So we move to basically Clarence and his gang in the van.
Can you fly, Bobby?
Yeah.
Fly, Bobby. And that's a line I always remember. Of all the brilliant lines that one always really sticks to me. And they happen to, and Murphy and Lewis. Are made aware that they've done whatever they've done, and they catch up with them into that factory.
Into the abandoned sort of war factory.
He thinks he's got them all, and then they get the upper hand on him. She gets, I can't remember, does she get shot or she just gets...
She gets sort of... Because he stood there having a waz, isn't he? And he goes, mind if I just zip it up like that? It's all a bit thingy. And then she does a little look down, and then he sort of knocks her off the edge.
So then they get Murphy, and they basically destroy him piece by piece.
Just why you want about that, though? Because the bit where he gets... Emil, I think his name is, the guy who ended up in the acid.
Fella.
And he's out there and he's like, oh, what do I do? And he's thinking, well, the game's up. But then they all start coming out, and like one turns up with a shotgun, and then you've got the other guy up there, and you can see like Murphy's looking around. You think it's actually quite a tense thing.
No, it is.
And then the reveal of like Clarence Boddicker coming out, and now you know he's like a proper evil leader, and he comes out and he really gives it the spiel.
Yeah.
He's a really good bad guy in it. I like that
scene in particular.
Yeah.
It was, again, going back to not just the violence, but the level of character, that cold, horrible character. Again, was one of the reasons why I was like, I don't think I'm supposed to be watching it.
He goes right up to him, doesn't he? I think by this point he sort of like knocks him on the floor, and he goes, you don't think I'm a real nice guy, do you? And he's got that cold look on his face, and obviously then the start.
Well, he'd come from maybe
scanning noise with the...
Yeah. Like, it's great,
No. But he'd come from doing mainly kind of Hallmark TV movie stuff, Kurtwood Smith.
Yeah, and ended up being in a TV programme for years, where he plays a friendly dad.
And in an interview I watched with him, he just said he just went for it. He just said, I'm just going to have a laugh with it, and and go for it, because he said he was kind of a struggling actor at that point, and he got sent that and he thought, hell, I'll do it, and then just really went.
Did he
for
not do any more sort of bad guy stuff?
Yeah.
Since he's been in loads of stuff since, hasn't he? But that was his first. Yeah, that was his first.
Yeah,
That was his first foray into
first-
being the
first
evil
big
villain.
move.
Yeah,
What a guy.
and do you know what was funny about that is, it's actually quite impressive there then that he actually ended up. What film was he in? What program was he in? He plays a dad in an American thing for years in a series, and he's like a really friendly, loving dad.
I can't remember.
But that's impressive that he's managed to pull that back.
Yeah,
And get
and
into
the
that,
fact that he's
'cause
got glasses on in Robocop, I think, helps as well.
Just takes the
Yeah,
focus
and that
away.
was a
of it.
decision they made
Yeah.
to obviously make him look more intelligent, more
Yeah.
like a
Yeah,
intelligent criminal.
but
Yeah,
I'm pretty
just a
certain,
mindless thug.
I can't think off the top of my head, but I'm pretty certain he would have been typecast into something else, and he wouldn't have turned the money down.
He's played a lot of. I can picture him a lot in kind of Pentagon scenes. You know, when something's going off and they go to like the president and all the chief of staff all sat around.
Probably got a fag on the go.
Yeah, and he's like the general.
Takes the glasses off.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
I think he was in Broken Arrow with John Travolta and had a similar role. So Murphy's destroyed, they get away, and then we get the creation of Robocop with those really well done scenes. Those it's kind of his Robocop's point of view, isn't it? And all the various things happening to him.
Just before you get into that, because you know when they're trying to resuscitate him, I'd forgotten like how sort of probably intimate they're really getting close in on Murphy's face.
Yeah.
And you can just see he's got like a blank stare, and it's sort of like in his
quite
mind.
real.
It's progressing back as he was seeing clips of his young lad and photos being taken, and then his little flashes of the guns
and
going
the
off.
makeup, you know that bit where he's in the hospital and he's they're resuscitating the brilliant men. The makeup on that is quite subtle, making it feel real.
Yeah. And I think because you can also hear the the doctors and the nurses. And you can hear it all happening, like, you've got to get this starting and all these things are going on and they're shocking him.
And stuff.
And it just fades out and all of a sudden you hear, and then it lights up as like it's a computer screen, which is a bit you're just on about.
So then he's up and around, he's doing his stuff. There's that great toilet scene where Bob Morton's slagging off Dick Jones.
He's in there having a number two.
Yeah, and he's slagging him off, saying the old man's out and I'm going to get in and all this kind of stuff.
They all scurry out, don't they?
Is a catalyst for Dick Jones then hiring, if memory serves, hiring Clarence to go out and kill Robocop.
I think that's the bit where it triggers it, doesn't it? I think that's why he's probably a bit more cocksure.
We've had him. I think by then we've had Robocop go out on his first day of duty, and we have there's a scene in a
with the guy's got the woman and he shoots
the alleyway scene.
Through the dress.
Yeah, alleyway scene.
And the gun. The gun's awesome.
Yeah, I put that in my notes. The noise it makes.
Yeah.
I've said this. I did with the aliens thing. The gun noises in
that.
The
sound
effects. That's good as well.
The good thing about that is that's a recall thing for her as well, because he does the little flip into his thing when he's human, and then he does it again.
Yeah, and that's when she starts to think, isn't it? But just with what I was going to say, because I think you on about he's always done his first like little jaunt out on his own.
There's the siege in the office block as well, isn't there? Is it the mayor's building or something?
There's a mayor, but just before that, he's doing his patrol, and there's like some down and out.
He punches through the wall and brings the guy through.
Yeah, he does,
The sound on that is mental. Like, go back and watch that, and it's like a really like when he comes through. It's really
he goes
cool.
to like a like some kind of 7-Eleven booze place, and there's a guy there with a big trench coat, and he's like, "Give me all your money." And but when Robocop opens the doors, he's like the swing in, like he has that sort of real futuristic noise, and then you got this big shiny like brand new Robocop just about to cause an absolute ruckus, and the guy just go, I'm not gonna say the F words, but he's like F you, and he's trying to shoot him, and obviously nothing's happening.
Yeah.
That's a great little bit, because that's just like he means business, and he goes about and does. But then I think he goes to the mayor's office. But that's the first time you hear the mention of the 6000 SUX motor car. I want a real nice car, and I want it. This goes like, do you want a 6000 SUX? I went, yeah, and it's got to have leather seats and cruise control.
Yeah, the guy giving all his demands.
Yeah.
Was Terminator 1 before or after this?
Before. It just
bit, Because I've just got a feeling about that scene. Reminds me of that level.
I think it's the same writer. I think it's the same writer of Terminator who wrote the screenplay for Robocop.
Did not. I thought.
I don't know if Cameron wrote it.
Oh, right, okay, that's surprising. But just you talking about that scene throws me back to the Terminator, where it's like someone shooting at like a robot and it's just walking towards you. Giving me them vibes.
You got no, like what else can you?
Yeah.
But I remember I watched something about Robo. This was a little while ago, but the writers, before it had even gone into anywhere near production, they'd only got halfway through the script. Terminator had just been released, and the purposely didn't want to go see it, but they took Stan Lee to go watch Terminator, and Stan Lee apparently said to the writers, "Good luck beating that, because you don't beat in Terminator." But obviously they just carried on with it and obviously got it back in.
But going back to what I said about the mainstream line of R-rated, Terminator was not really a gamble, and the budget for Terminator was not the budget of Robocop, as far as I'm aware.
No, I think Terminator, and it's only because I watched the thing recently, was 7 million, and I think they ideally wanted to do Robocop for 10, but it ended up costing 17, I think, something like that.
So the thing about that is, Terminator's just jumped in with 2 feet. It's a horror, and therefore all the violence and stuff like that, where he cuts his eye out and stuff, that won't be in an R-rated. In those days, it won't be in an 18 film. It would be in an R-rated, which really, in those days, used to really just put you in a small pool of people that can actually go out and see the film. And almost they'd rely on VHS, knowing that more people below that line would be able to view it. Not legally, but you'd be able to do it in your own home, whereas going to the cinema, you couldn't go in if you wasn't that age.
Well, yeah, because to be fair, I mean, if I couldn't watch it when I was not meant to watch it, I probably would never watch Robocop, because it came out in 88 in UK. But how long would it have taken to go on VHS? It would have been a long time afterwards.
Yeah.
So it would have been 89, maybe 90. I always remember because it used to be a VHS video guy used to come around St Elias Road, and Mum used to like get videos.
We used
of
to
them.
have one of the van.
Just turn up like, oh, what do you want? And it was one of the first videos my mum ever got. I don't know why she got Robocop.
The occasional child would go missing every time he'd been.
Been
round.
Yeah, I wonder where my brother went that time.
How old are you again?
45.
So I'm 46. You remember Keith and Rice? There was the local video place was called Keith and Rice, and I think it was like Oxford Street near Pasture Street that way on. I think it was there, but that was where you used to go, and you had to, if it wasn't in, you had to put your name on
a list
and your landline, and you get a call and say it was in
it's
stock.
in now. Yeah, I miss them days of going down to the video shop.
So, Dick, as we know, has employed Bodica, Clarence, to also get rid of Bob now that he's heard the conversation in the toilet. So that's when Clarence Bodica goes to Bob's house. Bob's with the 2 prostitutes. Yeah, and when Clarence walks in, he's no messing, gun up like that. Bob was like that, and he just don't even say hello. He just goes, "Get out, bitches." Bitches leave. Bitches leave.
Yeah, bitches leave. That's it. Yeah.
Dispatches Bob. Brilliant actor, Miguel Ferrer. He died. He's not been around a while, I think. I think he died quite young.
Oh, really?
And then at the same time after, if I got this right, Robocop tracks down little Emile at the petrol station.
Yes, he does, yep.
And Robocop says to him,
"Dead or alive, you're coming with me."
Yep. And
he
Emile
said that to him.
Remembers that's what he said, and said, "Hey, we killed you," and then we start getting all the memories flashing back.
Yeah, and he records the conversation, I think. Yeah. He had a yellow cigarette. I never understood that.
He realises the gang has killed him. He then goes around rounding up the rest of the gang.
Yeah.
He gets the other guy at the nightclub. And he gets Clarence at that really good scene in the drugs warehouse.
Yeah, I love that scene. It's the bit where he gets. I don't know if he does that with the wine. Can you remember? He sort of. He goes, really weird. I never got it as a kid.
Yeah.
Still don't get it now, really.
It's nothing to get. It's just a cool thing.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
It's a really cool bad thing to do. Is stick your finger in someone else's wine and jump.
Never miss a game.
He is brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah.
So Robocop gets Clarence in the drugs factory. I think at which point Clarence spills the beans about Dick Jones.
Yeah, because I think he's fearing for his life at that point, because he's throwing him through all them glass panes of windows and stuff like that.
Says it's all Dick Jones. And so Robocop goes to arrest Dick Jones, and then is it Directive 3
Directive 4
like that kicks in, and he can't arrest a member of OCP as part of his program.
Right,
Dick Jones put that little code in there apparently to protect OCP employees.
And at the same time then sets Ed 209 on Robocop, and that was all a really good scene where he's fighting with Ed 209, and then he ends up in the multi-story car park, doesn't he?
Just before that, though,
SWAT team arrives
yeah,
as
this
well.
one, but because great design. Obviously, Dick's very proud of his Ed 209, but he's already failed at killing somebody, and then they design a big thing and it can't walk downstairs.
Yeah.
It's just
But
you're not that good, Dick, right? You just rein it in a bit, mate.
Yeah. So he thinks he's got away from Ed 209, then the SWAT team are all outside, aren't they? And he gets basically blasted up.
By the way, I never understood that bit, particularly last night when I was watching it, because I must have missed something. I couldn't see any reason why all the police just suddenly turned up and wanted to shoot Robocop.
Because I thought Dick Jones had got in touch with them and said he's trying to kill me.
Oh, you just never see that bit. Is that just something you just got to?
So.
Yeah, I never, because at one point Cleethorpes went, "Is a cop? We can't be doing
Why would
this."
he? Yeah, it's one of them. Yeah.
But it's a bit sad for him there, to be honest.
Yeah.
So he gets blasted up and he's that cool thing where he kind of falls between the levels, rolling back and forth.
Yeah, that's a good little bit. Yeah.
Lewis grabs him in the back of the car, takes him to the factory, and then we have the most part of him kind of getting his memory back and realising he's Murphy and eating baby food, I think.
No, he doesn't eat it. He shoots it.
Oh, he does.
His targeting system's out, isn't it? Yeah. And then Lewis helps him get his targeting system.
Because obviously his digestive system's not what it was. But he ends up recalibrating.
Yeah. By the end of that scene, he's fully Murphy, isn't he? Then he's back to as in playing being the character he is Murphy in his robot suit, as opposed to Robocop without any memory.
I also remember the bit where he takes his top piece off as being as a kid, quite scary.
And it stays off after that point.
Do you know what though? When I was watching it last night, he looks like a lot of aging Hollywood celebs. It's like his skin's been pulled right back, and I just think people are paying for that now.
Foreshadowing.
Yeah.
I want the Robocop look, please.
I remember that actually being, because it is effectively just the front part of his face pulled back onto it. That's exactly what it is. But I remember as a kid feeling that is actually quite creepy.
It is a bit, cause I think it's because they've got the when she hands him like the electric screwdriver or the bolt thing, and he's doing it, and you see the bolts coming out, and then you hear him landing on the floor, and he goes, "You may not like what you're going to see," and then he takes it off. It is quite it's a good little scene, that with Lewis. But they have got a real good connection, him and Lewis, but they only met each other for 10 minutes. At the beginning. It's like they've been partners for about 20 years.
So you're kind of like relying on her just being a super good person.
Yeah.
So Dick Jones then releases the Bodica gang to finish off Robocop.
They've got them big guns, haven't they?
And he gives them an old arsenal of new weapons to finish them off.
Like big 50 cal grenade launcher thing.
Absolutely massive.
And they tested him on the street, aren't they? Which is a great scene as well.
Yeah, I forgot the guy's name now. He's got that real mad laugh, and he goes, ha ha ha. He laughs at everything. But it's the way he holds the guns in that street scene that you're on about. Because he doesn't like it because that Emil gets the gun, doesn't he? Or is it Clarence, one of them? And he just it's Clarence. He blows up his 6000 SUX because he's stolen it from the factory or something. He's absolutely gutted. So the carnage on the street.
I think Dick Jones has promised that he'll be able to run crime in the city if he just gets rid of Robocop. He'll make him crime lord of the city.
Delta City is a new city that they're building. That's right.
And then off they go to the factory where Robo
You'll live happily ever after and walk into the sunset.
Ever after. But we get the great scene, the great melting man.
Man.
So I can't fully remember, but he falls into some form of that.
He's driving that sort of step van, that American step van, and Robocop's already announced himself to be there, so he's driving around. He's got that big thing.
Drives into it.
Yeah, and Robocop sort of just steps out of the way, and it's proper labelled up toxic waste. Drives into it, and then obviously because of all the toxic waste gushes out, and he sort of rolls out the back. But
that's
the actor who's played it.
When he walks into the
help me. And he's
that's another one where, as a kid, I was like, why am I watching this?
You got that.
But the cut shot of when he gets hit by the thing as well. So he's in front of it, but there must be a split cut because it goes all over the window and stuff like that. So
Just
good. The
explodes,
editing for
basically.
that.
Yeah,
The
it
editing for
is.
that
It is
so
good that bit
Yeah.
because I think it's Clarence driving the SUX. I think in it.
Yeah, I think so.
When he's driving to, I'm pretty certain it is. Because when that Mills going, help me, and it's the guy who gets in the nightclub. I forget which character name he is.
But the guy was in Twin Peaks and stuff.
Yeah, and he's like, get off me, man! And all his lips are just like that. His eyes all upturned and it's all gross. But it's the way he walks around. It's really bizarre. But it's great. Great scene.
But that's Verhoeven. That's like just looking at Total Recall, some of the SFX and the makeup for that. You know what I mean? It's so good.
And then, so it dispatches the gang. Lewis is badly injured, but she's alive.
Yeah.
And you think Robocop's done for, but then he's got his magic spike.
His data spike, that's what it is.
I think you've missed out the bit with the crane where he gets...
Yeah, the crane.
Oh, of course, yes.
Drops all the
girders on him. And
that's actually quite a good little scene because he's sort of stood there and you see these big girders and stuff come down. But when I was watching it again, it's actually quite good. It looks pretty realistic.
They've definitely had like a shell of the suit there that's been hit by
it's really good little bit.
And then there's a bit where he gets stabbed through or something like that.
Yeah, so Clarence comes over, he's panicking,
pole.
but he's seen his matey boy dropping on his thing, so he goes over with a metal pole and he keeps swiping it away. But then he just puts it straight through here somewhere.
Isn't there a bit where he just turns around and blasts the cabin? Where he goes, "Way!" after he got him, and then she shoots the...
the guy gets over inside.
Yeah, that's it. Goes, I got him, Clarence, I got him. And then suddenly,
so good.
And then he spikes Clarence in the neck.
Yeah, that's a gruesome...
With his data cable.
Yeah, it's really gruesome that, because obviously you hear the spike come out, and the big splodge of blood just falls.
And the sound effects
of
that,
and then he's laid on the floor and there's all these things, blood just firing out.
So good. And then the finale.
And back to OCP to play the old man, the video of Dick Jones confessing to everything.
He kind of does the, do you know Raiders of the Lost Ark where that guy's like doing all the fancy stuff in front of him and he just pulls a gun out and shoots him? Yeah. It's kind of like that with the Ed 209 thing. He's like doing his thing, stop, and then blah, 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 and he just pulls that gun over the top of the car.
And that's it.
Violation, I think, isn't it?
That's what I mean. It's very like, it's a bit excessive, isn't it, for just parking on the front. Big machine.
Tries to arrest, and then Dick Jones said, "You can't arrest me because of the OCP."
Who does he say your move creep to?
Your move creep. I don't know.
Is that in this film?
It is in the film, yeah.
Your move creep.
Is it? I think it's just a normal
I think it's one of the early ones where he's going out to the grocery store or whatever it is.
Yeah, because that's a line I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So there's an OCP.
Yeah, it shows the video, exposes Dick Jones for all his dastardly deeds.
On multiple TV screens by the way.
Yeah. Lots of TV screens again.
With the same face, obviously, because he's in Total Recall doing exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Says you can't arrest me or whatever, and then the old man says,
you're fired.
You're fired.
Yeah.
And then he basically just shoots him and blasts him out the window.
I love when he blasts him out the window, because I got a bit confused, but you know, The Last Crusade, Indiana Jones, there's a bit where they're in the tank and the tank goes over the cliff and the guy falls out and his arms look really ridiculous. Yeah. That's what Dick Jones's looked like. I thought it was the same actor, to be honest, but it's different actor.
Last Crusade's a dummy in a mini.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. It's just a dummy sat in a mini and they just throw it off the end of a cliff.
But obviously he falls to his grisly death from the thing with arms about 6 foot long. It looks so bizarre.
Yeah. And ends with the what's your name, officer thing or whatever.
The name's Murphy. And that's where it ends.
Yeah.
So there isn't any sort of reconciliation with his family?
No, he stays away from the wife.
Okay. Is there a sequel?
There's two.
There's
Well,
there's a TV series in '94.
There's Robocop 2 that's also Peter Weller.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and there's Robocop 3, which is a different actor.
Yeah, I've probably seen it, but
Robocop 2 is not that bad.
No, it's not that bad.
It's nothing like Robocop.
But it's weird, Robocop 2, because the main evil person in it is a kid of about 10 years old.
Yeah. Oh, what?
It's and they take this drug called Nuke, I think it's called, and they're zapping it into the net.
There's a big tall guy who was in Michael Mann's Manhunter as the Tooth Fairy baddie.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Been in loads of stuff. He's with him into
I remember it
he
now.
ends up getting his consciousness put into a 209 type.
Yeah, and it's sort of in his chest a bit like Krang out of Turtles or something.
Totally coming back to me now.
But it's alright. And there's the best bit in it is when he gets rewired and he goes all poetic, Robocop.
Oh, I don't remember
And
that.
and he's saying to kids, a bird in the hand is worth...
Oh, yeah, he does, yeah.
He starts talking like a Shakespearean editor.
Yeah.
I can't remember why he ends up like that.
I don't remember 3.
He toned down his violence.
Well, I think in 3 he could fly.
I
thought, I'm not watching that. Just not watching it.
And then there's been TV... I'm sure there's been
There's a TV series in 94.
Didn't know that.
Cartoons as well.
Oh, cartoons, remember that. Which is bizarre.
Yeah.
But the remake, I swore I wouldn't watch it, but I ended up watching it in COVID.
I think fairly recent then.
I think it was COVID. It's because it was what's the year of the remake? 2015.
No, it's older than that.
It's about 15, 16.
So it was just kind of like that. It was just like one of those moments where someone,
it lost all the...
I like Joel
Kinnaman.
Yeah, I like him, but it just felt so forced.
Yeah.
And it's the same with the Total Recall one with Colin Farrell in it.
Yeah, that was...
I haven't seen that.
That was a mess.
I have stuck to my guns on that one.
Absolute mess.
But I just don't... I think I've said this a million times on this podcast. If people are... if it's retro and people are still going back to watch these films, they do not need a remake. Yeah. Unless there are on the rare occasion where that film suffered from tech. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a retro film and it's a cult film, but it suffered from tech and it could do with a little bit of an upgrade there. Barring that, just leave it alone.
I think you're right. Yeah. I think you're right.
And they made the mistake in both of those cases of taking out the fun, silly parts.
Yeah.
The cheesy parts.
Yeah.
Because I think this sort of era that we've discussed, because there's quite a lot in this 80s era, particularly with Arnold Schwarzenegger and some of the big ones. The part of the appeal for them is that it was a bit lo-fi in terms of the effects that they could use at the time, but they've made a really good job of it. The cheesy one-liners, the sort of not bad acting. That's not the right thing, but it's verging on not brilliant acting. But that's what was the charm, wasn't it? There was that element of cheese running through all these films. You can't recreate that, but that was over the time, wasn't it?
So yeah.
Well, so that is Robocop.
Yeah, there's quite a lot. Let me just.
Anything you want to add?
We talked about potential cast, didn't we?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. When I've rewatched it, it does feel like quite a rushed line of events. It goes from turning up at a police station that no one knows him to being another thingy, and then he's dead, then he's Robocop, and then he's got his memory back, and then he's saved the day from thingy. And it happens really, really quick. It's like loads of tiny little segments all sort of pieced together, which wasn't a bad thing.
But it moves at a good pace. I mean, it's only 1 hour 40 minutes. So it's a nice length for a film. That.
It's fine.
Okay.
I watched it enough.
Favourite line?
Can you fly, Bobby?
Yeah.
I love that line.
I don't know. I'm gonna have to go for I'll buy that for $1, I think. Yeah. But it's.
They actually gave it a name. It was called.
What, the TV
It's
show?
Not My Problem. Yeah, it's the name of the TV show.
Oh, is that the name of the thingy? Yeah.
That's a great name for a show.
It was a really weird guy, really odd guy in it. I didn't really understand, but it was great. Really
I think Bitches Leave. I think I
really enjoyed that, to be honest.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Never miss a game.
Yeah. That's brilliant. Favourite line, Jamie?
I dare say it's "Can you fly, Bobby?" Because it's what happens afterwards. You know what I mean? It's just in the context of it.
I think it's Bobby. I like the name.
Believe
Bobby
it or not, this is going to sound. I don't know how this is going to come across, but there was a few times at school where if I was about to push someone over, you know when you used to do that thing where someone would crouch down behind something?
Yeah.
Just say that line.
Can you fly, Bobby?
And be like, "Boo."
Evil soft.
Yeah. Sorry for anybody that actually did that.
Favorite character.
Clarence. Clarence Boddicker. He's although I did quite like Bob Morton.
Yeah, I like Bob Morton.
I know he's like he seemed to be a bit because he works for OCP and he comes across he's quite like focused on what he wants to achieve. He's actually not a bad bloke, although he does gets like women in the night round when he's sniffing drugs off a table and stuff like that. But he's celebrating, isn't he? He's just he's pulled off.
So I'm going to be boring and say Murphy, but one thing I will say about Peter Weller is Arnold Schwarzenegger was chosen for the Terminator because of his acting limitations. Because I think there was some discussion about. I think it was actually Arnold Schwarzenegger who went to Cameron after Conan Barbarian.
Oh yeah.
To say. He felt like it was his, he with his how straight he was with his accent and things stuff like that. He was almost primed to play a robot. I think it was actually Arnold Schwarzenegger. It wasn't somebody going to him and to offend him. I think he sat with Jim Cameron to say, this is me, I can do this. Peter Weller run the risk of doing that as well because he was playing a robot for a long part of the film, but he doesn't. I think the actual part when he's playing a human, I think he does really well.
He does
No,
play
he's a really good actor.
Yeah. But
So-
I think there was a bit of a thing with it, because you know about the robot thing, because when there was trying to get Robocop made, Blade Runner had been out, and obviously Terminator, and really he doesn't look like a robot, does he? Until the bits where he's got his arms showing and bits and bobs. But Robocop was permanently a robot, and I think that's where the budget was probably coming into play and stuff like that.
The design came from where it was a Japanese artist,
like
who
an
made,
anime
like
artist, wasn't it?
sexy looking robots.
Yeah,
and
it's very...
and the producers saw that and said, give him that kind of.
Also on the
slickness.
acting front, you must be massively limited as well, given that for a large part of the film you're only using your mouth, and it's quite an emotional film.
Yeah.
So to be able to convey that without them just showing the camera view, and he does it well.
There's a
lot more to it. The whole, if you watch the documentary, there's like a 4-part documentary, and each episode is like 2 hours. It's really, I think it's on Amazon, all about Robocop.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But there's a really
that's
big
what I
bit
watched,
about how he moves. And he got some, I think it was a mime coach or something to work with him. All that kind of, he moves his head first, and then his body goes, and even the way he kind of steps and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he
but
did.
there was a lot to it.
He put a lot of time and effort into that role, didn't he?
And that's what I'm saying. You need to give credit where it's due, because stuff like that can easily get overlooked because of the type of film that it is.
Yeah.
We just said there that the acting's cheesy and it's better for it, but you've still got to make that believable. Otherwise, it don't work at all. So credit to him.
Yeah, no. I mean, to be fair, everyone who was sort of in the main spotlight of the film, I think they all did exactly what it should. Even Lewis, because really Lewis is not in it that much, really, is she really?
No, but she did well as well. So okay, I'm going to ask one last question before we wrap it up. If you were going to make a remake now, who would be your cast now? What actors are available to you now, like the hot actors? Who would play Murphy?
God, that's a good question.
Well, having not pre-thought about this,
who's
let's go for Murphy.
I'm just
You
trying,
must
I'm
have an
just trying,
idea.
I'm trying to think of thin actors that have got some weight behind them, like Cillian Murphy. To have the people
Cillian Murphy's a great
people
shout.
who have got some good acting chops, but they're not particularly physical people.
Well, I mean, things moved on now, haven't they? You could have a stocky guy doing it, I suppose.
I mean, Tom Hardy's probably too easy a choice.
Yeah, no, I'm going to nick Cillian Murphy, mate.
I reckon that's not a bad shout.
Murphy playing Murphy.
Yeah.
There we go. It's a natural fit.
What about Alex? I say a Halle Berry or someone like that.
Or Florence Pugh. I'd pick
You'd
her
love
for
Florence
everything.
Pugh,
Yeah.
You'd go for as Murphy, wouldn't you?
Yeah, female Robocop, Florence Pugh. And Bodica's probably the most interesting one. Who's the most...
Who's been really good at being an absolute badass?
Yeah.
But really clever with it?
Ben Mendelsohn. I like Ben
You'd
Mendelsohn.
love him as well. He would fucking do a good
He'd be
job there
good.
as well, yeah.
I think it's when you've got iconic characters.
Gary Oldman, but wasn't he in the new Robocop?
Oh, I don't know.
He might have been,
I'm sure he was the
Was
scientist
that
guy in
Total
the new
Recall?
he was in the Total Recall on one of them.
Yeah, right.
Gary Oldman would be a good buddy.
I think with people like Murphy and stuff like that, I think you could get some decent acts into it. But I think when it comes to someone like Clarence Boddicker, I think he was too iconic in that film. I don't think really you could have anyone else. It would even be anywhere near as good.
And if we're being straight, they've already tried to remake it and it didn't work.
Yeah.
So
but I was just talking about for hours if we'd have done
Yeah.
it, and also...
But the same cast, because they're all still alive. The same people. Because we know they're brilliant.
Oh, bloody yeah.
Retired Robocop.
Yeah, retired older.
Out of retirement.
Where is he now? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
okay.
He's an oil up, a lube.
It scores quite high for me, Robocop.
Well,
Yeah,
go on.
5
What you
out
giving it
of
out of 5?
Yeah.
It's 5.
5.
It is a 5. Yeah.
Definitely 5.
Yeah.
It's a classic.
It
Absolute
is a classic. Yeah.
It's a science
still going on
fiction
now.
action
you know.
masterpiece.
That documentary you're on about only came out a couple of years ago, 2.5 years ago maybe. And pretty much all the cast and the writers and the director was all in it. So
I'm going to watch that.
yeah.
And I'm actually going to watch the film again. After
Brilliant.
speaking about
Yeah, I
Brilliant.
would, because it's over as soon as it starts, really. But you are engrossed in it.
Yeah, it never stops.
Yeah.
it.
Good.
Yeah, cool. So
Brilliant.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Cooky.
So, thank you, Cooky. Really appreciate it.
It's all right. Thanks for having me back.
Are you the only guest that's come on twice?
You are the only guest that's come on twice.
No way.
So
Yeah,
he
mate.
gets-
Yeah. What does he get after the third time? We've got to
He
get
gets a
something.
pen the third time.
What, your old pen?
Just whatever pen's lying about.
No, but we'll make you
Chubby
something.
sweets.
We'll
Maybe somewhere.
You
Third
know, like
time
on
you come
Sunday
on.
brunch where they get a mug if they've been on so many.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that what you
Yeah,
yeah.
We'll make you something for the
Yeah.
third occasion.
Can you make me pizzas?
Yeah, I can make you a pizza.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
want,
I don't
I'll
want to
make
sound
you a pizza.
Marco.
I
But
can't
then,
do it
but then if I make you a pizza and it's meant to be commemorative, like you got to not eat it.
I know, I'll the memories. Well, you've got to take videos of me eating it and I can
Yeah,
look back
cool.
at
Take
the
videos
like,
of you eating. Watch videos of you eating.
Yeah.
That's a really new thing.
yeah.
Right, okay, so that's been the retro episode this time, and don't forget to follow us, like, subscribe, comment, follow us on all the usual suspects, but mainly we need subscribers on YouTube. So get subscribing. Cooky's going to share it. He's going to get all his mates to subscribe.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, we'll see you on the next one, guys.
Thank
See you later.